Good morning, everyone. My name is Michelle Shaw. I have an initiative called Minneapolis Edible Boulevards, and we are here at the beautiful Northeast Farmers Market this morning. Our intention is to be with you, those of you who are at home, because hopefully some of you are going to be cooking along with us this morning. Our coconut lentil curry. We're so excited that we're going to have Wilton Howard doing our class this morning. For those of you who have done this before, and for those of you who have not, but we usually start off with a land and labor acknowledgement. We want to acknowledge that we are on stolen Dakota land, and we want to honor our ancestors and also our Native neighbors today who continue to be impacted by that historical trauma. And also we want to acknowledge that slavery was legal here in the state of Minnesota for a year, and also was impacted by the slavery from down south with the economic policies that were set in place here in Minnesota. So I want to acknowledge those two things at the beginning of every class. Now, I'm going to introduce Minneapolis Edible Boulevards. We are an initiative that focuses on food justice. We have cooking classes once a month for about 7 or 8 months of the year. They're free, so you can always invite anybody and everybody, no matter where they live. They're always on Zoom. And then we also have free resources for people for putting gardens in our green zone neighborhoods. So a few of those are in Northeast Minneapolis, a few in North, and a few in South. So if you want more information about that, I will be sending out a closing email after this class with the recipe, with that information about the gardens, and just a couple other things so you can stay up to date on what our future is about. So without further ado, I want to introduce Wilton Howard. Wilton and I actually met at the Northeast Farmers Market, and his infectious energy is what brought me to asking him to teach this cooking class. He's got some really awesome things at his vending booth, so I'm hoping that you will come check him out. But in the meantime, you can check him out through our cooking class today. So I'm going to turn it over to Wilton, and he can tell you a little bit more about himself. So, Wilton, take it away.
Hey y'all, thank you, Michelle. Appreciate it. Can y'all hear me? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This is my first time here at Edible Boulevard. Thank you, Michelle, for inviting me. My name is Wilton. I've been a chef, self-proclaimed 4 years, but all my life I enjoyed cooking with my mother, my grandmother, my aunties and uncles. I'm from the Chesapeake Bay area of Maryland. And I always say that I've had the best food on this side of the Mason-Dixon line. My father, he was a Methodist preacher. And I just remember the old women on Sunday cooking in the fellowship hall, all my favorite foods, fried fish, pig feet, collard greens, potato salad. Anyway, I fell in love with food a little too much at an early age. And so just when I was in college, I decided to become vegan because I realized how much food and nutrition impacts our health, even more so than exercise sometimes. And so because of the inflammation that was building up in my body, chronic inflammation, I decided to change my diet in college, and I became a vegan. And so because of the changes I was making, my family and friends saw that I was losing weight, getting clear skin, attitude was improved. And they were like, I want that. And so my business really is a request. And so it started out being just cooking for my family and my friends. And so here we are. I like to create things. Excuse me. Welcome, Abby. My name is Wilton. We're just doing introductions. And I like to create things, recreate things from my heritage, the African-American soul tradition. but also the traditions that my friends have shared with me from the Korean soul tradition and the Indian soul tradition and the Cambodian soul tradition. And so all these flavors are in my cooking and what I sell here at the market, and hoping to do a lot more in the future. But anyway, it's 11:09 and I want to get started cooking. And so let's get started, and feel free to raise your hand, use the raise hand button or the reaction button to get my attention. This is interactive because I know that some of you are cooking with us, some of you are taking notes, or whatever capacity that you're doing it. I want you to make sure that that you know that you have the capacity to ask questions at any time. And I'll go at your pace. It's very simple. We're making a coconut lentil curry today. And I have my skillet pot. And right now we're gonna start with soaking our lentils. Let's move this camera back so you can see my table. And the plan is we're gonna take things in stages. So I have two pots here, one for the lentils and one for the rice. And the chutney, we're gonna keep it raw or cook it if we have time at the end. So I'm just gonna get my lentils ready. Thank you. Can you actually lift it up just a little bit? I know my face isn't important. Actually, no. Let me know if you want to see my beautiful face. But I'm just gonna get about a couple cups of lentils. Because they don't expand. So really what you see is what you get. They expand a little bit, but what you see is what you get. So how much you pour in there is how much you're going to get out at the end of this recipe. And so I'm just going to rinse these. If I was at home and I had my sink and not just this gallon of water to use, I would rinse my lentils at least 3 times. One for the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. That's how you know it's clean. But you just want to get all that sediment off. There's not a vegetable, there's not a food that you don't wash before you eat. And that includes our grains. And so I would at least do that 2 more times. And then you're going to fill it back up to soak. And we're going to let that soak while we work on our rice or quinoa. And today we have quinoa. So that's going to soak while our quinoa cooks. And for that, we're going to need another bowl. You're going to grab your quinoa, and we're going to wash that as well. And right now, I'm just going to wash that once. I just have a little gallon of water here. But I recommend that you wash it at least 3 times, just to make sure that it runs clear. Same with your rice. It's just going to cook a little better because there are starches all over that rice. There's debris. And when you don't wash your rice, it becomes mushy. And people are like, why does it become mushy? Like your grains of rice, Wilton, are always separated and they're all evenly cooked. I said, because I wash my rice. I at least wash it 3 times. And some people soak it. Michelle, you were telling me a technique about soaking rice. Can you remind me what that is?
Yeah, it is super important to soak your rice, preferably overnight. And the reason for that is because some of you, I'm sure, already know that rice has arsenic in it. Because the plant sucks up arsenic through the soil. And so when you soak the rice beforehand, at least for a few hours, that will get some of that arsenic out of the rice. So you just soak it for, 4 to 12 or more hours, and then get that water out of there, and then put the rice into your pot. That's really important to remove that metal out of it. We don't want that arsenic going into our pot.
I had no idea. Thank you. And that's one other technique. Also, it takes, I think soaking it also lowers the glycemic index. And so if you're somewhat diabetic, I heard that can be helpful as well. Okay, so with the quinoa, I like to actually flavor my rice with quinoa. So I'm just gonna take a little sliver of onion. I'm gonna dice it real quick. This wasn't in the plan. I'm just kind of improvising. I'm just gonna take a little bit of that onion and I'm gonna dice it up because I wanna create like a little a flavor while that quinoa cooks.
So remember, we have people cooking at home.
Yes.
So where should they be, and how? Let's make sure that they are in the same spot.
Yes, yes. So how are you guys doing? Can you listen in? Because I really can't hear well. How are you guys doing? Where are you at right now?
So who all is cooking along with us? My guess is Spencer is, because Spencer usually does.
I am, yes.
Okay. So Spencer, where are you at? Do you have the quinoa in the bowl?
I've got my a couple lentils soaking. That's where I'm at.
Okay. So did you wash your quinoa or your rice?
No. Is the rice gonna go in with everything else, or is that like the curry will go on top of the rice?
Say that again. Sorry.
What was that, Spencer?
I'm asking if the rice is going to go in with all the other ingredients, or if the curry just goes over the rice.
It'll be separate.
Okay, I already have some rice on hand, so I probably won't cook anymore.
Okay. Is anybody else cooking along with us? Okay. Well, if anyone else is cooking along with us, hopefully you have your rice or your quinoa rinsed and put into a bowl. And so now we've got some onion. People are adding the onion right now.
Yes, I'm gonna add some onion to my skillet, and then I'm going to put my quinoa in there as well. So I have my onion.
So is there some oil that they need to put?
That is. So I put some oil at the bottom of my skillet with my oil.
So how much oil would they put?
I would say about a couple tablespoons, but just take a spoonful, put it in there, and then you can add a little bit more if you like. Steve, what part are you at right now?
Oh, Spencer?
Oh, Spencer, yes. All right, did you wash your rice yet?
No, he's not gonna.
Oh, he's not gonna wash.
He already has some cooked.
Oh, he already has some cooked. Oh, wonderful. So we can go ahead.
Well,
so I put some oil in my skillet. Then I put some onion in there. You can also add garlic, but I'm not gonna do that right now because of time. And we're just gonna put our quinoa and or rice in our skillet.
So he has cooked rice though. Would you put cooked rice?
If he has cooked rice, he doesn't have to do any of this.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's just gonna lay those lentils all over that cooked rice. So you can warm your cooked rice up. But if you like, for future reference, to season your rice or your quinoa, this is how I like to do it. I like to add a little onion or garlic with some oil down there. And just put that quinoa in that skillet and turn it around in that oil a little bit. And the coconut also adds its own little flavor too. Because I use coconut oil. Olive oil will do the same. Your favorite oil. Grapeseed is alkaline. That's the only seed oil that I recommend. And then per cup of quinoa, you're going to put 2 cups of water. And per cup of rice, I usually just do 1 and 1 when it comes to water. And if you know the trick, when you have water, if the water goes to that first crease in your finger, it's level or flush with that first crease, that's enough water in your pot. And the tip of your finger has to touch the top of the rice. That's a little trick. My first lady taught me. It's level. I'm gonna turn this on medium high and then let it simmer. I added the water.
So how much water?
I added for quinoa, the ratio is 1 cup of rice to 2 cups of water. So I had about a cup or 2 cups in here. So I added 4 cups of water. And I just did the measuring with my finger. I'm gonna add a little bit more. And this is where you can add your salt as well and your pepper to taste. We're going to let this cook. We're gonna take it up to medium high. medium high heat, and we're gonna let it get to a boil. And once we feel it get to a boil, we're gonna turn it down and let it steam for the rest. But while that is cooking, we're gonna prep our veggies for the coconut curry and the tomato chutney. So while this thing was going, we're gonna take our onion, and I have a large onion, so I'm just gonna cut it in half, and we're gonna dice it. Long ways, width ways. You can start whichever way. But I hope you can see it. Can you properly see it, Christy? Okay. Yeah, you're just gonna cut.
Yeah, I can see it.
Roughly, no, I thank you. You're just gonna roughly cut. Put it in a little bowl. Roughly cut your onion. Put it in a little bowl. I'm working with a small surface here, but it's working. And it can be rough. It doesn't have to be particularly small because it's all going to come down and put together in those lentils. It's going to be like a little soup. You don't even know there are onions in here texturally. All right, then we're going to go to our
So let's find out.
Brother Spencer. Where are you at in cooking? You over there, focus. Do we have any questions so far? All right. Brother Spencer, how are you doing? He's on mute.
Spencer, you're on mute.
I'm doing good, chopping onion.
Oh, good, good. And I put it in a separate bowl. And next, I'm gonna go to the garlic. So I'm gonna just take a few cloves of garlic, dice that up, and that could be a little finer than the onion, but also it could be rough too because that too is gonna melt down in there. And I got a little extra bowl here to put in the compost so I can get some Mother Earth later. That's an offering as a thank you for letting us use her bounty and abundance today. And what I like to do with my garlic, I like to rough it up because it don't like to be used. It's in this paper that's so hard to get off. So I like to smack it on it. So I take my knife, I put it on top of the garlic clove, and I hit it. She gotta go. Okay, it's easier for that. She gotta go. It's easier. We have an audience. It's a sitcom today. So I like to smack it, and of course now it's crushed ginger, and now it's easier to take off that paper. It's much easier. And now we're left with this, which is okay that it's smashed too, because we're just going to dice it from here. So the tenderizing just helped us in that process. And I got 4 cloves here.
And can I just add about garlic?
Yes, please.
Garlic is so easy to grow your own garlic. So if you are in a space where you have room to grow garlic, now is the time to get garlic in the ground. So you can either growing garlic that you get at the grocery store, you can try that. But there is garlic you can buy specifically for it at Mother Earth Gardens. And yeah, you get not only the garlic itself next summer, but you also get garlic scapes from the hardneck variety. And you can use the garlic scapes in stir fries. You can use them in pesto. Garlic is a gift that just keeps on giving in many, many ways. Nutrition, really good breath. So,
honey, I enjoy it.
Garlic.
Yes. So speaking of, here's the garlic mince. Throw that in with your onion jaw.
And if you want to be more gentle with your garlic clove. You can also roll it,
Mm,
and that will also do the same thing as hitting it.
I love that.
Depends on what mood you're in.
Exactly.
You want to get your stress out, or
Absolutely.
just be a little more calm.
I need to try that. I need to try rolling again. Yes. Yes. And I'm thinking about also people with arthritis too. They can't really hit. So that rolling too might be a little better, for the rest. Thank you. But next is our ginger. So we're just gonna get a little I said 1 inch piece. You can get a little more too if you like a little extra ginger. So after the onion, I diced the garlic, and now I'm on the ginger, and that's really our trifecta. I have a question. Yes,
How long, like, if I got
Abby.
how long should I do
I see a green light.
Like, these don't go bad for
So I'm gonna,
Abby, did you have a question? I can't hear anything.
I can't hear anything either. Maybe it's a technical difficulty.
Feel free to just pipe in if you have a question.
Yes.
It's a
Oh, she has her hand raised though. I wonder why I can't hear you, Abby. Can you type your question? Because I see the green speaker around your thing, but I'm just mincing the ginger right now. Mincing the ginger, and I'm adding a little bit extra.
okay. I noticed that you are not taking the outer skin off.
Correct.
Why is that?
Because there's nutrients in the skin, and I washed it thoroughly, and I like to wash it with lemon juice instead of vinegar. But lemon juice, sometimes I use baking soda.
Why is that?
Just to get just to cleanse it a little better. I don't know what kind of soil, what's been in the soil, if it was near, pig farm or whatever. I just want to get all that stuff that's outside. But also we had chance that it's also inside. Some people actually recommend peeling the ginger, especially if it's not organic. Because who knows what kind of soil it was in. But I leave it on. I just pray over it and I get those nutrients. So I leave it on. Same thing with my carrots, everything. I like to leave that skin on. I even like with my watermelon to eat a little bit of the white part because even that has nutrients. And so yeah, sometimes you just have to suffer a little bit, okay?
You can make pickled watermelon rinds too.
Yes, you can make watermelon rind, jam. Yeah, you can. Some of these things, let's say they're bad for us or undesirable, are actually the most nutritional for us. And sometimes you just have to suffer to enjoy those benefits. But I got my diced garlic, diced ginger, in a little bowl.
How's he doing?
Brother Spencer, how are you doing?
Don't know if you're great, but line
I'm good. Got my ginger done, garlic done, onion done.
Oh, awesome. Congratulations. We are going to, so we have the ginger, garlic, and onion done. Now, that's all we can do for the curry for right now. Now we're going to make the salsa. So we're going to get another bowl. Pardon? I think so. Yeah, that's a good spot. We're going to get another bowl, and we're going to grab our tomatoes. We're going to just give them a nice little rinse. I got these from the garden. Our community church, they grow their own vegetables, and they were blessed, kind to donate some today for us.
Of course.
And I prefer cherry or plum because they're alkaline. You can really use whatever. I love heirloom. But we're gonna roughly just dice them. Take off the green thing. And they could be as small or as big chunks as you like. I like to do medium size. So like for a cherry tomato, I slice it twice and then I turn it around and slice it again. And so they're pretty large. It's like a salsa. And then if you choose to cook it down, and I think we might have time to cook it down actually, add a little bit more flavor to this. We can. But tomatoes are a little hard to work with. I like to cut them flesh side up. Usually you do skin, but I like to cut them flesh side up because then you're pressing down against the juice. When you do it the other way, and it just gets everywhere on your cutting board. But if you put the flesh up, like the skin side down, and cut it from the flesh, it's a little less messier. Which is what I need today. Amen. These are gorgeous tomatoes. Michelle, try one. Oh, you got to get it all. Yes, you can. Give it to Casey.
Whoops.
Yeah. And then after, what are the ingredients for the sauce? Oh, I do right here. We have the tomatoes. Right after the tomatoes, we're going to cut a little bit of onion. So this calls for 2 small onions, but I have a large one, so I'm just going to use the other half of the onion. And oh, the bees want some too. A bee can have some. I don't know about a fly, but a bee can have some. So I got my tomatoes chopped up. I'm working on my last one right now. Then I'm gonna chop up the onion. And then the garlic. Brother Steve, are you a little bit ahead of me? For the onions for the sauce, I'm gonna cut it the same size that I did for the curry that we set aside. And you know what? A quarter of this onion is cut up in here, and I think that's satisfactory for what I have right here. I kind of want an equal balance, but I don't want too much onion in there either. This is the beginning of an excellent tomato onion salad, honestly. If you just want a quick snack, put some salt and pepper on this thing, maybe a little bit of oil, honey, put it in the fridge. You can even add a little bit of vinegar or lemon juice if you want a vinegar alternative. That's good for any day.
Hey, this is your cup.
Oh, thank you, love. Thank you. So now I'm gonna add a clove of garlic in there. This is for my salsa bowl. This is for my salsa bowl. Michelle gave me a nice little compost bag. I love Michelle, y'all. I remember the day that she came up and we just started having a good old conversation. It was near the end of the market and it was a wonderful day, just like this one. And we had a good old time. What Edible Boulevards does for the community is essential, y'all. But we can't do it alone. We need everybody doing their part. That's the only way this thing is going to work. Community. If we don't look out for each other, who else will? So, that's it. That's it. That's it. I'd love to have y'all. Oh, let's check the quinoa. How is y'all? Is y'all boiling over? Mine was boiling over, so I turned it down. So I turned it down a little bit. I forgot about the quinoa, but I turned it down a little bit because it was boiling. How's your quinoa looking? Oh no, you already have it already cooked. So it was boiling, so I turned it down. And now it's at a simmer.
So we were going to use the stock.
Oh, that's right.
So this tell
We were going to use the stock for the quinoa. So we should have put the stock in, put our onions in. But you know what? We're going to do it afterwards. It still can flavor it. Thank you for that reminder.
Yeah, so you can use vegetable stock or water in your quinoa. So you would use, if I like to use better than bouillon vegetable stock. So then you would use 1 teaspoon for 1 cup, so however much you're using for your quinoa or your rice.
I love it. Yes, yes. Also, instead of rice or vegetable broth, if you want to be naughty, put some coconut milk in there. Create like a little island feel to your rice or your quinoa.
Do you mean the So not coconut milk in terms of like the runny stuff, not the non-dairy alternative. You're talking about the can.
Oh yes, the canned coconut milk. It's a different texture. Yes, I like to do a little bit of water, a little bit of coconut milk. But we got the garlic. Thank you. We got the garlic. We got the ginger. Oh no, we just need the ginger for the salsa. So we're gonna do the ginger, but we got the garlic, the onion, and the tomatoes in there. It's 11:34, y'all. I think we're on time.
So wait, what's this for?
That is for the curry.
Oh,
So we got a bowl for the curry, and that's for the salsa.
Okay. Yeah. Goodbye.
And you know what? I'm confident that our quinoa is done. Michelle,
what do I need to do?
can you
Try it?
Yes, please. I'll fuck it up for you. I'm very confident that it's done.
You?
Can you grab a little spoon from under there?
I actually have some.
Oh, you're awesome. You're awesome.
Patty. Thing.
When I looked in there, when I lifted it up to see the water level, to make sure there was no water boiling on top, that means it needs, but it was looking nice and fluffy. It's looks, yes, yes, yes. I just put the ginger in with my salsa bowl. So I have onion, tomato, ginger, garlic.
It's done.
It's good. It's done. I'm gonna take this off. Oh yes, let's have the stock in.
So that stock will really give it some flavor.
Yeah.
Right now it tastes like quinoa.
Yes. And I didn't bring my salt with me today. Lord forgive me.
And I don't know if you talked about, I don't know the exact nutritional benefits of quinoa, but there's definitely more nutritional benefits than rice.
Oh yes, yes. It's considered a complete protein, I believe. So if you're looking for a protein alternative, quinoa. And it's yes. Quinoa, hemp seeds. It doesn't always have to be beans, something heavy and starchy. Quinoa honey.
That's the way to go.
And then flavor it. Put that broth in there. Put that salt in there. Put that coconut milk in there. Make it good, honey.
Even if you forget at the beginning.
Yes, you can put it in afterward. Now taste it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just a little.
Just a little.
Yeah. Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay. I'm gonna get my pot for my lentils on the stove.
Much better.
Amen. Amen. I give it a little rinse. Brother Spencer, I'm gonna put my pot for lentils on the stove, and I'm gonna get that all toasty and ready for me.
How are you doing, Spencer? How are you doing, Spencer?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'll do my salsa later, but otherwise I'm okay.
Okay. Just gonna do the salsa later.
Okay.
Otherwise, he's doing okay.
Oh yeah, because this is the optional portion. Okay. So we're gonna come back to the salsa. We have our ginger, onion, garlic, tomato chopped up, and we're gonna start cooking our curry now that our quinoa is done. So we're gonna heat up our pan and add some oil. We're gonna put it at medium, high heat, or medium. Depending on how fast you want your vegetables to your onions, your garlic, and your ginger that you set aside for the curry, the first little bowl that we did. I like to add a quarter to a half a cup. Michelle doesn't like that portion, but I add up to a half a cup of oil, depending on the oil, only because that's the fat. And as a vegan, we don't get a lot of fat in our diet. And so when you add a fat, like a healthy fat, to something, I add a little bit extra just because I need it for myself. But a quarter cup would do for these lentils, at least for a couple cups of lentils. So while our oil is getting nice and hot, I'm just gonna add the ginger, garlic, and onion. And we're gonna let that get all good and delicious. Let that oil coat every part of that onion and that garlic and that ginger. You just let it get fragrant and aromatic. And I'm gonna turn it up a little bit because I like to see a little brown, a little caramelization on my onions and my garlic. That's flavor too. It's like when you cook on the grill, that chars the flavor. Yeah, they say it's the carcinogens. Honey, give it to me. It tastes good.
And Wilton, do you have the lentils cooking in a separate pan?
What you say, brother?
The lentils are cooking in a separate pan?
Yes, the lentils are cooking in a separate pan. Excellent. Yes. So I have I put a little saucepan, just like my other one.
Okay.
Put some oil in the pot. I say about a quarter cup.
But that's not with the lentils.
Oh,
You don't have the lentils in here.
oh no, not yet. Not yet.
So this is just the onions and the garlic
Yeah.
and the ginger.
Yes, yes. But if you're not used to that much oil, go with the recipe. It says 2 tablespoons. Just 2 tablespoons is really all you need. 2 tablespoons is really all you need. But since we washed our lentils, while our onions and garlic and ginger are smelling all good, I'm gonna rinse our lentils. Yeah, not rinse them, but empty out the water because they've been soaking for at least 20 minutes. The time is 11:20. Yeah, I think we're on time. 11:40. Excuse me. We're on time. But it takes about 20 minutes for these lentils to cook, y'all. Oh my God. Spencer, do you have your garlic, your onion, and your ginger in your pot?
I'm in the process.
Okay.
Yep.
Let me know when you have it in the pot, and then I'll add my lentils, and then we'll be on the same page.
Oh, those go in here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, if we have any other things about like the nutritional benefits of tomatoes? I know those have like lysine in them.
Spicy.
Something nutritional. I'm pretty
Yes,
sure.
yes,
Well,
yes.
one of the things I'll say, so I don't know a lot about tomatoes, other than the fact that that was one thing when I was doing research about my dog who had really high liver levels, and I needed to get those down back before he was diagnosed with cancer. Tomatoes was one of the main things that the vets were saying were what he should be eating.
Really?
So yeah, I added tomatoes to his diet. I added a few other like squash and sweet potatoes. And so yeah, actually it brought his liver levels back down to normal within a few months.
Oh, wow.
So I apologize. I don't know what the exact if anybody out there does know what the nutritional value of tomatoes is. I just know that they are super nutritious.
We have a chat. It's started down. Sorry, just technical issues. Oh, that was Abby a little bit ago. Yes, yes. I like that. Thank you for that. My dad had not liver, I'm sorry, it's kidney issues. But I don't think tomatoes are researched for him. But I believe that tomatoes can help plants. So does onions and ginger, especially with the gut. That's why I like ginger. Excellent for gut regulation, digestion. Yes.
So Wilton,
That's good for the gut too. I think it's high in vitamin K. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Vitamin K actually is for the
yes. And what is vitamin K? Potassium? Don't get me lying.
I'm not gonna say for sure.
Don't get me lying.
Okay.
I just know if you use fresh ingredients, come on now, you can't go wrong.
Exactly.
You know what's in it. Truly.
So do these need to be in here for a while?
At least 20 minutes.
Well, let's get them in
Let's
there.
get them in. Brother Spencer, where are you at?
my onions and garlic and ginger are cooking. What should I be doing with the lentils?
Amen. So when you start smelling it, I would add your lentils in there.
So I should drain the lentils again and then put them in?
Good question. I drained mine just out of habit, but actually you can put the water in there since we already rinsed it. Because what I like to do is I like to toast my lentils in that oil for a little bit. Mix it around there with the onions and the garlic, and it toasts a little bit in that pan. But if you like, for convenience, you can put your lentils with the water inside of your onions and garlic and ginger mixture right now. And that's satisfactory too. So that's what I do sometimes too. Because we're gonna add water. I'm adding water into it right now anyway. And so the amount of water I add is just to cover the lentils. Just to cover them. And then if you think it's a little too much, add a little bit more.
Wait, what? If you think it's too much, add more?
Oh, I'm sorry. If you think it's too little, add a little bit more.
Okay.
And then add another little bit, just for insurance, okay? Because some of that stuff, that water's gonna boil off anyway. And so we're gonna watch the water level to see what we need. If it's sticking to the bottom, add a little bit more water. But right now we just have water. We have the onions, garlic, and we're gonna add our seasonings to the curry. Our tablespoon of curry powder, turmeric powder, cumin seeds, and mustard seeds. Mustard seeds are the options, but let's add that in now.
Can I stop to hear how much?
Yes. Tablespoon.
So a teaspoon of mustard seed,
Yes. That's the one I did first.
a teaspoon of ground cumin or cumin seeds.
Yes. Here we go.
A teaspoon of turmeric.
Yes.
And a tablespoon of curry, which I have way too much of in my cabbages.
Me too. And you know what? I added a little extra turmeric in there. That's another benefit.
Okay.
I just want to bless it a little better because you want to bless yourself.
And salt and pepper to taste.
And salt and pepper to taste. Yeah. But since we don't have little salt and pepper with us, I'm gonna add some of this bouillon in there.
Oh, yeah.
That has a little bit of salt in there. Add some of this bouillon, y'all. And I'm gonna give that a nice little mix with my seasoning. Give that a nice little mix. I'm gonna turn it up, bring it to a boil, and then let it simmer. You got your seasonings in there. Oh my God, it smells amazing. Oh my God. Where's your bowl? You gotta get some of this broth.
Pour it all.
Yes. Let's taste it.
You gotta taste as you're cooking it.
Yes, you do. I wish we had salt. Of the flavor.
I think that would be good.
Yeah. You want a little bit more?
No, this is good. Because I
Okay.
want to do it, I try it when it's older.
Okay. Maggie, would you like to try a little bit of the broth? Maggie,
Oh,
would you
yeah.
like to try a little bit of the broth?
Sure.
Oh, just sipping it.
Yeah.
Maggie. How is it? They can use some salt, right?
Maybe a little. I like the coconut. We don't
Oh,
have it
yeah.
anymore.
Oh, yeah, that's good. That's good. I'm gonna leave that right there. We'll see how it is afterwards. I think that's sufficient. Where's my lid? Oh, there we go. We're gonna let that bring to a boil. So we have our lentils, our seasoning, our garlic, our onion. Oh, y'all, it's coconut curry.
Yeah. I know, we don't have
It's the
coconut.
coconut. Put the lime in the I brought the lime too. That wasn't on the recipe, but coconut and lime, baby. So I forgot my can opener. I'm gonna act some violence, girl. Not on Rosh Hashanah. Okay. I'm gonna add some coconut.
Oh my
Girl,
God.
just add a can. Just add it. Just add it. And you know what? I like to add a little bit extra too. I have a whole pan in. I should have thought of that before I put the water in there. Put your coconut in first and then your water so you don't put too much like I did. We're going to let that bring to a boil.
Yeah, so we might need to put more.
Yes. We're going to try it. We're going to let that bring to a boil. And let's start cleaning up our dishes, y'all. That's another skill. Cleaning up between when you can so you don't have a whole mess at the end. While your lentils are cooking, you have 20% left on battery. While your lentils are cooking, your quinoa is done. Your salsa is almost done. We're going to do some cleanup, and then we're going to get back to our salsa. And then when the lentils are done, lunch is served, honey.
Oh, those tomatoes.
What tomato?
The ones in the jar, are those supposed to be in?
Oh, yeah. We have the tomatoes in here. We're supposed to chop up some tomatoes and put them in here as well.
We have tomatoes in there?
I don't think so. I don't think we have tomatoes in there. And to be honest, tomatoes can be optional. Because I know some people don't eat tomatoes because it is too acidic. But yeah, tomatoes are also supposed to be in there. Yes. So add your tomatoes in there too. Girl. So we have coconut milk, lentil, ginger, garlic, onion, some oil, broth, and our curry, turmeric, cumin, and mustard. And it's all mixing in that pot. This is one of those things where you just cook. Hey. This is one of those things you just cook and forget about a little bit. But let that get all juicy. And let's get back to our salsa. Let's finish that up. The time is now 11:54.
How's Spencer doing?
Brother Spencer, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm keeping up. I think I'm ad-libbing over here a little.
What happened?
Well, I'm not sure, but I'm just throwing stuff in the pot, so.
Okay, what do you have in your pot?
Well, onions, garlic, ginger, lentils.
Onion, garlic, ginger, lentils,
Yeah,
awesome.
and the spices, and I've added some veggie broth, and now I'm gonna put in some tomatoes and coconut milk.
You put those things already in there?
I haven't got the tomatoes and the coconut yet.
Okay, you're off to a good start. Yeah, as long as you have your lentils and your seasonings in there and the coconut milk, that's great. And then you can add your tomatoes still.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna get all good and juicy and simmering.
About 20 minutes.
Yeah, about 20 minutes it will be done. And that's it. Because you're not doing the salsa. So I'm gonna do this for so people can take notes. But once you put all that in the pot, you let it simmer. Bring it to a boil and then let it simmer. Then bring it back down to low to medium heat. And let that, what's the word? I call it get juicy. What do you call that when you just let it simmer? You let it get juicy. You let all those flavors marinate and get, kiss one another and soak everything up. Yeah, part of those seasonings are getting in those lentils too. It's osmosis. It's love. It's energy. It's heaven in this pot right now. It smells good. But that's all you do. It's like a big pot of beans, really. That's what I liken it to. I haven't when I first started cooking lentils, I was like, oh, it's just like grandma's big pot of beans. You just put your onions and your garlic and your water and your flavors in a pot of beans and just let it cook until they're done. Lentils are a little smaller than your regular beans, so they don't take as long. And you don't really have to soak them either. That's just a preference. But I always do recommend washing them.
Does anyone else have questions?
Anyone else have questions? Not at this time. All right, let's go back to our tomato chutney.
Actually, I have one.
And We have our tomatoes, our onion, our garlic, our oil, our ginger. Chili is optional. Now we're gonna add our seasonings. A teaspoon of mustard seeds.
So there's oil in there.
Mhm.
Is there oil?
Not yet.
We need that.
Yes, maybe. I'm gonna do some mustard seed. A teaspoon of mustard seed. A teaspoon of cumin seed. This is for the raw version. Then we're gonna cook into the regular version. I mean the cooked version. Because for the raw version, we just add the seasonings together and mix it up. But when you cook it, you're gonna add the mustard seeds and the cumin seeds to the oil, and then add the rest of the ingredients. And we'll go over that in a second. But if you ever want to do it raw, this is perfectly fine too. Everything is more delicious raw, and you can omit the sugar too. Add a tablespoon of sugar, or you can add agave, which is a sugar substitute, a little more healthier, and a little bit of vinegar. Add a little bit of vinegar, a tablespoon of vinegar. And you can substitute that with lime juice if you don't do vinegar either, because vinegar is too acidic for some people. Salt and pepper to taste. Mix it all up. Amen. Oh, and cilantro is not in it.
Can I take a little bit out
Yes.
for this month?
Oh, yeah.
Because some of us have that cilantro gene where it tastes like
Yeah.
soap.
Yes. I've heard some people say cilantro tastes like sewage.
Well, some of us who have it, it does not taste good at all.
Yes. So of course, let me have your bowl.
So I won't be able to eat that once the cilantro goes in.
And you would like it, you would like some cooked as well?
Oh yeah, so don't give me.
Yes. I want to try some.
Oh, thank you. What do you think?
Really good. You know what I'm talking about. Really good. All my lentils are steaming. Do y'all see the lentils steaming? I'm gonna open it up. It's boiling. I'm gonna let it boil because we got a lot of liquid in there, y'all. We did it so out of order. We got a lot of liquid, so we're gonna let it boil. Actually, I'm gonna leave it uncovered boil, so we can burn some of that liquid. But I will. Oh my God, I will stir every now and then just to make sure it doesn't stick to the bottom. But because we have a lot of oil, we're just gonna let it simmer. Let it get all good. Oh, that's so delicious. We got the quinoa done. We have honey, as my father would say, it's all over but the shelf. We're just waiting for the lentils to cook. I'm serious. Thank y'all. I appreciate you. We're gonna sit here and hang out. And we're gonna do a little bit more cleaning. The market is going beautiful today. I see we're sold out of pastries, it looks like up there almost. Almost. But it's a beautiful day. I miss you, Christy. Christy, she comes to the market all the time. She's one of my dearest friends. Thank you for being here today. And it's nice to meet you, Anna and Spencer. Do you have, guys have any questions? Oh, Michelle, yeah. Michelle has some of my cupcakes here.
Yeah, I was just gonna see if they had any questions. Yeah, you could definitely share some of what you have, but I just wanted to make sure that you show what vegan is, some of what you have. Because you've got some jams. There was a really good pumpkin trace lattes that sold out right away. But yeah, you can come down here to some of these farmers markets. But and you also have beverages and some of the summer beverages. There's some like favorite. There's a watermelon turmeric. The hibiscus green. So I definitely recommend that you check out Vegan Wit. So and while we're waiting for this too, if anybody has any announcements that they want to share, please do. So next month we have got, and I'll give you that so you
Thank you,
saw
love.
those. Next month we have a class with Sanchez Brown, and that class he will be teaching us how to make a soup that is from his native heritage. So please join us for that. I'll send you how to sign up. Actually, you could have signed up for that when you signed up for this. But if you didn't, you can always sign up. And then in December, we have one that's going to be in person at the Super Co-op. So please join us for that one with the owner of Salsa a la Salsa. That one's going to be pretty much first come, first serve. So please join us. And then I'm trying to think if we have any other events. Does anyone out there have any that they want to share? Hey, well, I am super excited. I don't know that our curry is going to be done in your 12 o'clock hour, but you can always, if it's okay with you, Wilton, I'm going to have both of our email addresses so that people can reach out to us when they are making this. And also, we'd like to post pictures of what people make on our Facebook page. So please post what you make on there as well. So I just really wanted everybody to join us today.
Thank you.
And you'll find this video on Facebook, and I will send it to you as well.
Yes, thank you, Michelle. Thank you. Oh, stay right here. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Michelle. And thank y'all for joining us. Let me lift the camera a little bit.
Will you show us how we actually sort of?
Absolutely. Let me put it on the floor. Thank you for joining us. This is my first cooking class here in the Twin City. So thank you, Michelle, for asking me to come. And I also do group meal preps, not classes, but we get together and we just cook our meals together. And so right now, once a month, starting in November 5th, we all come to Columbia Heights. And we just cook our meals together, and everybody gets to take up to 5 to 6 meals to go home. We cook veg and non-veg items to cater to those with specific needs or desires or wants. Because we know that you're not only cooking for yourself, but perhaps your family as well. The only thing we don't cook in my kitchen is pork. So, yes, look for that online. Look for that on Instagram or Facebook. And so come cook with us. It's always good to cook with other people. But to make our bowls that we cook today, you're just gonna grab some lentils. Some quinoa in a bowl as much as you desire. I have about 3/4 of a cup here in a bowl. And then you're gonna add your lentils. I'm gonna pretend to add them.
Exactly.
But I will add some of this juice though. This broth is delicious. I can have some of this broth, even though it's a lot. It's delicious. And you just let it cook down until it gets to your consistency, because it's gonna thicken up even after, and it's gonna get all nice and good. But anyway, then you're gonna top it with your salsa. And that's it. That's it, y'all. How did you do, Brother Spencer? You're the only one cooking us with this live. How did you do?
Yeah, I have way too much liquid in the pan, so it needs to cook for a while.
Yes, I agree. Way too much liquid. We did add the wrong, and I apologize for that, the wrong liquids. But I mean, in the wrong way. That's why you have so much liquid. But yeah, let that be your curry today. Let it be a soup on this nice day. It's really good with rice. So I'm excited to see how you did that. Anna, did you have any questions or anything that struck out to you today?
Well, it sounds delicious, so I had to try it.
Say that again.
It looks delicious, so I just had to cook it now.
Yes.
Thank
That's
you.
it. Just let it
Thank
cook
you.
and stir it every now and then. Reach the bottom of that pan, and Just let it reduce. Just let it reduce because the more it cooks too, it'll be better the next day. It's going to be delicious. But you can also have it like this as well. But my lentils aren't cooked yet. And so I'm going to let them cook and then we're going to feast. But thank you.
Thank you for coming,
Thank you for
everybody.
joining us.
Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
This is good. Even without salt. Oh my God.